Good evening. On the World News tonight from Babagade Imo Television, BGI TV. My name is Morire Rebila Lawal. First, the headlines. FG approves 5.1 billion naira on for TED Fund research grants. I inherited many battles in liabilities from you, Tinubu to Buhari. Illegal miners responsible for Ibadan explosion, says Makinde. I kept records to prepare myself for probe, Buhari. And on sports, Al Hassan Yusuf out of Cote d'Ivoire clash, says Pesero. The news in detail. The sum of 5.1 billion naira was on Wednesday approved by the federal government for the funding of over 185 successful research proposals under the Tertiary Education Trust Fund National Research Fund 2023 grant cycle, a statement by TED Fund said. The approval, which was conveyed by the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, followed the report of the TED Fund National Research Fund Screening and Monitoring Committee, which recommended the funding of the 185 research proposals after a rigorous screening exercise that commenced in March 2023 with a receipt of 4,287 concept notes from prospective applicants. According to a statement, a breakdown of the approval indicates a sum of 3 billion naira was approved for science, engineering and technology and innovation thematic group, humanities and social sciences, while cross-cutting received over 5 billion naira with individual grants ranging from 8 million and over 46 million naira. The statement noted that some of the approved research works under the Science, Engineering, Technology and Innovation thematic group include the application of the hydro-biochemical framework to develop a natural and national rural water quality assurance plan for sustainable water quality management in Nigeria, development and use of double upload maize lines for improvised and improved maize yield and tolerance, support a program development of intelligent multi-chamber evaporative cooling preservative system for post-harvest storage of selected fruits in Nigeria and development of electric vehicle with special tasking features among others. Project under cross-cutting thematic group include utilization of scrap tires and plastic waste as aggregated conducive materials for renewable energy storage system. Approved under humanities and social science are digital financial inclusion, rural households, consumption structure and well-being in Nigeria, equity and inclusion, creating access to library resources for students living with vision impairment in e-learning environment in Nigerian universities and mitigating post-traumatic stress disorder among frontline Nigerian Army personnel using stress inoculation therapy and others. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said his predecessor, Muhammad Buhari, bequeathed to him a nation plagued with plethora of challenges and battles. Tinubu said the former president left behind a lot of liabilities and assets for him, adding that it was difficult to please Nigeria. He made a disclosure the book long titled Working with Buhari, Reflection of a Special Advisor Media and Publicity 2015 to 2023, authored by Femi Adesina, Buhari's former spokesman. He, however, said Buhari led the country to the best of his ability. Addressing Buhari, Tinubu said, "When you left the office, you left many battles and a bunch of tasks for me for continuity. And I told people I inherited the assets and liabilities of my predecessor, no matter what you say. We always joke sometimes, and you say you can never please Nigerians, but yours is to focus, work hard, and satisfy your conscience. You have done that, it is reflected." Concerning the tragic events that rocked the capital city of Oyo State last night, the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, has blamed illegal miners for the explosion that rocked the Bodija area of Ibadan, the state capital, on Tuesday. Makinde, who visited the scene of explosion Tuesday night, said preliminary investigations by security agencies revealed that explosion caused by explosive devices stored by illegal miners. They also said, though investigations were still ongoing, anyone found culpable will be brought to book. Preliminary investigations by security operatives are ongoing. Many houses were damaged in the explosion, some several kilometers from where the explosion occurred. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday disclosed that his administration kept record of its stewardship. According to him, he knew he would always be required to account for the trust entrusted in him. He stated this at the book launch that chronicled his achievements in the 8 years he held sway as president. The books are Working with Buhari, Reflection of a Special Advisor, Media and Publicity from 2015 to 2023, authored by Femi Adesina, and Muhammad Buhari, The Nigerian Legacy Between Those Years, a compilation of about 100 contributors, edited by Udu Yakubu. Buhari, who was visiting the nation's capital for the first time since leaving office in May 29, 2023, said under his watch, nothing was done under the veil of secrecy. While noting the effort of authors of the books to document his administration's achievement, Buhari stated, without documentation, revisionism wins. Human beings often have short memories, and unless events are recorded in cold print, some people would come and attempt to either distort or even obliterate recent history. But the fact in our favor is that nothing was done under the veil of secrecy. We were as transparent and accountable as possible, being aware of the fact that prosperity and posterity was the ultimate judge. You are watching the World News from BGI TV. Next to come. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka says some politicians in the ruling All Progressive Congress APC should be answering questions from anti-graft agencies over corrupt practices during their time in elected offices. The elder statesman spoke during an interview. Soyinka, who will clock 90 in July, said when it is time, he will beam his satellite on such politicals and politicians and ask the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to go after them. The rights activists acknowledged that President Bola Tinubu was a doughty fighter during the National Democratic Coalition NADECO, days over 3 decades ago. He said, though somebody's record must always be taken into account, but he wants the past achievement of any individual to affect his opinion or criticism on any public issue. Soyinka mentioned further, Tinubu was dirty fighter during the anti-Sani Abacha struggle. Even law recognizes that somebody's record must always be taken into account before you descend on that person for some kind of neglect, criminality, failure whatsoever. However, I can never allow the past of any individual to twist my appeal on any urgent issue. Moving on to the next story. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayode, on Wednesday said the command was yet to receive the much-awaited toxicology report that was conducted on popular singer Illyrio Aloba, also known as Mohbad, 3 months after the singer's death. Mohbad, 27, died on September 12, 2023 under a controversial circumstance and was buried the next day. The nurse who administered a vaccine on him was arrested after she was found to be unlicensed. Following public outcry, the police set up a panel to probe his death. His corpse was exhumed and some tests were carried out. Fielding questions from information as of the command headquarters during parade of suspects on Wednesday, the Lagos State Police Board said the command was still awaiting the report. They blamed the delay on the destruction of a state-of-the-art laboratory that was built by the state government during the NSAS protest. According to him, the police launched a homicide investigation and the singer's corpse was exhumed for autopsy to gather crucial evidence and determine the causes of his untimely passing. From Lagos to Ogun. The Olu Owode Egba in Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State, Oba Kolawole Sowemimo has tendered an apology to the federal government over his alleged abuse of Naira. Oba Sowemimo, in a viral video, had knitted 1,000 Naira note in the form of a long rope of Naira and hung it on the neck of popular Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde Marshal while celebrating his wife's birthday anniversary. The development had generated outrage on social media, with many Nigerians condemning the monarch's action. But the federal government, through the National Orientation Agency, NOAA, yesterday had written a letter to the monarch warning him about his action and consequently threatening him with a jail term on the act of Naira abuse. In a letter addressed to the monarch, the Director General, NOAA, Lanre Issa Onilu, said his action attracted imprisonment. But while speaking on the issue, Obashoe more regretted his actions and promised to desist from such act in future. The light-skinned monarch noted that he was carried away with the euphoria of his wife's birthday anniversary, which triggered his action. I don't want to argue or talk about the matter with anybody again. If I did anything wrong, I am sorry. There are more than 1,000 videos of people spraying money, even marching on the Naira note, he claimed. Moving on to Lagos. The Lagos State High Court at the Tafawa Balewa Square TVS on Tuesday fixed February 8 for the hearing of the no-case submission filed by the Boss Rapid Transit BRT driver Andrew Omonikoron, who is facing trial for the death of one of his passengers, Oluwabamishi Anyowole. Justice Sherifa Shonaike, who had earlier fixed today for the adoption of the application, was forced to adjourn the case following the failure of the defense counsel, Abayomi Omotubara, to serve the prosecution a copy of the application. The state, through its Director of Public Prosecution DPP, Jide Martins, had arraigned Omonikoron before the court on a 4-count charge of conspiracy, murder and 2 counts of rape. The prosecution had informed the court that the defendant on November 25, 2021, allegedly made an act with the 29-year-old lady Ineka Mary Jane Ozezulu in Lagos. The DPP alleged that the incident took place at around 7 p.m. around the Lekki Aja Conservation Center on the Lekki Aja Expressway, Lagos. The DPP also claimed that the Omonikoron conspired with others now at large and forcefully asked the act with the 22-year-old passenger, Oluwabamishi Anyowole, a fashion designer, without a consent, after which he murdered her. Martin said the incident occurred on February 26, 2022, at about 8 p.m. between Lekki Aja Conservation Expressway and Carter Bridge. Martin further told the court that the defendant and others at large on February 26, 2022, unlawfully killed Oluwabamishi Anyowole by throwing her out of a moving boat at Carter Bridge after having an act with her without her consent. He maintained that the offences are contrary and to punishable under sections 411, 223, 260, and 165 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. The defendant, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge. In his response, Omotubara stated that he had not completed the application filing. We need a little time to meet filing. All that is left to be done in such scanning, which will be done as soon as possible. After listening to the lawyers, Justice Shonaike adjourned the matter to February 8, 2024 for adoption of the application. Still on the world news, the next is from the foreign scene. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken called Wednesday on Israel to help rather that hindered the Palestinian Authority, saying that Israel's long-term security was at stake. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Blinken renewed his call for a pathway to a Palestinian state, even as Washington backs Israel's Gaza campaign, launched in response to October 7 Hamas attack. You are not going to gather the new security you need. Absent that, and of course to that end as well, a stronger reformed Palestinian Authority can more effectively deliver for its own people has to be part of the equation, Blinken said. An effective Palestinian Authority can only operate with the support, with the help of Israel, not with its active opposition, Blinken added. Even the most effective authority is going to have a lot of trouble if it's got the active opposition of any Israeli government, he concluded. And finally, on world news is a sports story. The coach of Super Eagles, Jose Peseiro, has confirmed that Al-Hassan Yusuf is out of the match against host, the Elephant of Côte d'Ivoire, on Thursday at the State Olympic Al-Hassan Ouattara Stadium, Abidjan. Peseiro confirmed this on Wednesday at the team's news conference ahead of Nigeria's second match at the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations in Abidjan. According to the coach, the Royal Antwerp FC of Belgium defensive midfielder will only be in contention in the third match against Guinea-Bissau. The information reported that the midfielder was substituted due to injury on Sunday during the Super Eagles game against Equatorial Guinea, which ended 1-1. The coach, however, confirmed that Napoli FC of Italy striker and reigning African Footballer of the Year, Victor Osimhen, will be available for the match against Côte d'Ivoire on Thursday, which is tomorrow. The Portuguese also revealed that Leicester City of England playmaker Kelechi Iheanacho was close to playing, while Terry Murphy, OG Nice, France striker was catching up with the rest of the squad as expected. A full squad with a winning spirit will be done tomorrow against Cote d'Ivoire in Abidjan. With our sports story, we've come to the end of today's World News from BGI TV. Before we go, some headlines. FG approves 1.1 billion naira for tech fund research grants. I inherited many battles, liabilities from you, Tinubu to Buhari. Illegal miners responsible for Ibadan explosions. Governor Makinde speaks. I kept record to prepare myself for probe. Ex-President Buhari. Lagos CP blames NSAS rioters for delay in investigating Mobile's death. On sports, Al-Hassan Yusuf out of Cote d'Ivoire clash on Thursday. Pesaro, head coach of Super Eagles. For updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Bagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adibayo. Please like and follow the page. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Good night.